start. Oh, the mic's already on this morning. Okay, so we're going to resume today with our last set of debates. Of course, we have the gentlemen going today, and they have the topic of prison reform. So the affirmative side, please stand. Thank you. All right, for the negative side, please stand. All right, before we also resume, make sure that you do not have your cell phones on, and for in the audience, make sure they're on vibrate and or silent, please. So we're going to do this like we did last time. Gentlemen, hopefully you watched the link to get some more insight. So first it'll be affirmative, and it'll be the warrant for 5 minutes. Okay, so you'll resume when I get to the back. All right, when you're ready, you have up to 5 minutes for the warrants.
So what is prison reform? According to the American criminal justice system, prison reform is one solution to the ineffectiveness of our justice system. In the past, many states and federal governments have explored prison reform, but efforts to truly reform prisons usually fall short. Now, in the 20th century, prison reform is needed more than ever due to the fact that more people are getting incarcerated. Prison reform has more pros than cons and has equal benefits for the inmates and for the community. Prison reform focuses on 3 main points to help change the view on prisons and helps inmates become better people. Prison reform allows inmates to receive support for mental health, substance abuse, and creates job programs for when inmates get out of prison. In conclusion, if prison reform was implemented, inmates' lives would change for the better, which would have a domino effect on the safety of our communities.
All right, next we have affirmative presenting the grounds. You have up to 4 minutes.
Moreover, our group is in favor of prison reform based on the warrant presented. For point 1, for inmates to receive mental health treatment. Prison reform is a valuable element to our society because, according to the Penal Reform International website, when responding to mental health problems in prison, not only improves the quality of life of individual prisoner and with untreated and prison population in general, but also relieves the strain on prison staff who must otherwise deal with untreated mental health issues unsupported. For point 2, the treatment of substance abuse is addressed in prison reform because, according again to the Penal Reform International website, most offenders that are convicted on drug-related problems, and when they are released, there needs to be programs put in place for them to be able to succeed in life. For point 3, better programs to help inmates after incarceration so that they can maintain out of prison and not have to go back into prison. According to the Department of Corrections Reentry Program website, there's programs that are out there to help inmates out of prison, but there's no program that is going to give that person all of their rights back.
All right, next for affirmative, you have the claim. You have up to 4 minutes.
As I already stated, there are many pros when it comes to prison reform. Evidence-based prison programming has been shown to increase future employment for individuals who are incarcerated and decrease rule violations in prison facilities. Educational and vocational classes have been studied extensively and found to be some of the most effective programs in prison reform. According to the American criminal justice system, mental health support in prison was found to reduce misconduct incidents by 22%. Substance abuse treatment in one California prison resulted in 48% reduction in re-incarceration. One holistic faith program based reduced future re-incarceration by 40% for those who graduated from the program. By implementing various types of prison programming that have been proven effective, we can create a culture that helps to ensure those with criminal history are better equipped for productive, law-abiding futures. This will ensure that those incarcerated can secure meaningful employment, acquire true closure after punishment is fulfilled, and avoid criminal behavior in the future. Though prison programming Through prison program, we can ensure safer communities, increase economic growth, and decrease the burden placed on taxpayers to support growing correctional systems.
Okay, next we have negative. You have the backing. You have up to 5 minutes.
How y'all doing today? My name is Brandon. Thank you. Prison reform is not just a bad idea, but it's actually a hard financial burden on taxpayers. No, like when you get paid and you get like $1,000 check or a $700 check, but it's reduced to like $530 or $575. That's what they're for, basically. You getting robbed, basically, for that. But we can keep going. Prison reform costs over $100 billion a year. According to the Justice Report, the First Step Act is just a bust, not good at all for the country that's already in debt. Limited impact is also another point I want to make. Again, according to the Justice Report, prison reform is only for prisoners, meaning the other 87% that's incarcerated in city jails will not even be affected or be able to use the resources of prison reform. This means, if you do the math, the country is using over $100 billion a year for about 20 people at the prison level. Furthermore, the prison reform doesn't even reform or reduce the number of years of people are sentenced. Prison reform doesn't people are sentenced to. Who's the real target? The black community is. Year after year, my people have been unjustly sentenced, and the very bill that's supposed to help them get home to their families failed to address this very issue. Could I ask this question? Who's ever heard of the 3 strikes law? 3 strikes, and then you're out. This means a 24-year-old man who's made mistakes in life could be sentenced to life in prison without a chance of parole for a nonviolent crime, just like he's a murderer. This is called mass incarceration, and now suddenly the government wants to wave a magic wand and just take it all away for a problem that they intentionally created themselves. You want me to tell you the real plan is used to keep young black men behind bars or of any race for free labor. It's also called modern day slavery.
Okay, for the negative, we now have the warrant. You have up to 5 minutes.
We all can agree that mass incarceration is a huge issue facing this country, but my group and I don't believe that prison reform is the answer. What exactly can we solve by implementing such an ineffective and costly act that only fights the back end of a much bigger problem? I believe instead of focusing on prison reform, we should be focusing on the way sentencing is done, or the criminal justice system as a whole. At the end of the day, prison is just a building, and reforming that building won't stop how many people the system decides to convict. The system is very broken. Actually, it's not broken, it's fixed for certain people to lose. The Jeopardy Clause, also known as the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, states that no person shall be subject to the same offense twice to be put in jeopardy of life or limb a second time. That basically means that no person should be convicted or punished for the same crime twice. But felons who done their time are still paying and punished for the same crime all the time. Like, they're left out of society, they're left out of the workforce, and educational opportunities. This denies former felons the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, 3 things that this country was supposedly built on. Now imagine all those things being taken from a person. How can they provide for themselves or even contribute to their society? They can't, not at least the way they wanted to. As my opponent brought up about the reincarceration rate, Well, most people are actually reincarcerated due to the fact that the system takes away so many opportunities from them that leads them back into a life of crime. You see repeated felons going back in and out. A former felon, James Delimmer, wrote, "I got out when I was 25, no friends, no family, most importantly, no educational skills, no work history, perhaps more importantly, no idea how to cope." And when he says cope, I think he meant cope as in going back into life itself, where to begin. So you could talk about the incarceration rate, but really the system is broken, and that's what pushes them back in. Showing that there's a broken system. Here, you need to fix the whole system, not just the back end of a problem, not the jails. You need to fix what's getting them there in the first place.
All right, next for the negative, we have grounds. You have up to 4 minutes.
We already have a broken system. Tell me how it's implemented another bad plan going to fix this. Let's work on a judge that sentences a poor black mother to 5 years in prison for trying to make sure her child goes to a better school, but only sentences a white Hollywood actress to 13 days for paying a criminal to falsify documents and change test answers so her kids could attend a good college, potentially robbing another student that's worked hard and that's been honest of any chance of attending that college. Need I say more? Let's reform the other judge that sentences a young black lady to 20 years for shooting in the sky to avoid being abused, but yet another judge that looks like me sentences a white lady to 10 years for killing a man in his own home. Better yet, let's reform the police officers that pull our black men over because of the way they look and kill them. Our jails are overcrowded because of this stupidity. Why sentence a homeless man to 13 years in prison for trying to break in a church kitchen to steal food? Why? He was hungry. Throw the whole system away, if you ask me. It's broke and it ain't working. The criminal justice report works for 2 people. The criminal justice report lets you be the judge, better yet, lets you see how ignorant and stupid this bill really is. It only works for 2 people. What about the rest? But let you tell it, it's a masterpiece. Prisoners are sentenced once in court, do their time, re-enter society, and can't find a job, and you wonder why our brothers and sisters end up right back in prison of any color, because we don't stand a chance against a broken system. Let's reform that, since you want to reform something so much.
For the negative, we now have the qualifier. You have up to 3 minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Alan, and I will be doing the qualifier of the situation. Usually, you will find someone saying a lot of things with no concrete facts or evidence to support their claim. Sometimes or always it happens like that, but not with my team. As my partners here have already stated, you can find all of our evidence and facts under the justice report. None of our research is false. I wish I could say the same for the other team right here. For years, people have said, including our team, that the system has been broken for years and corrupted against black people. And even decades, even that's not a lie. That's the truth to me. Because to me, the system is only one-sided against whites and blacks. And it's not fair. And I feel like it should be for everyone, which is making it hard for blacks, as my partner said, Brandon said. It should be for all of us, and that's all I can say now.
Next, for the negative, you will end with the claim. You have up to 4 minutes.
In conclusion, I and my team stand here today so that everyone, including my opponents, can be informed about the truth. Please, you can all look up these facts our opponents failed to address in the National Justice Report. If you look, you will see proof that the Prison Reform Act fails to provide you proof that the act will save us money. You will also see loopholes in the prohibition of shackling pregnant women. You will also see that there is no impact on certain prisoners from the act. Also, you will see that this bill probably will not pass in the Senate because of inconsistencies and doubt. You will also see race favors in this act, meaning it can maybe start riots in the prison system and innocent people could be hurt and killed trying to stop a prisoner that feels his cellmate is getting better treatment just because of the color of his skin. To be honest, I don't even think my opponents even realize racism still plays a big role, especially in our prison system today. If you all are for this act, really, as a country and as a people, we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask the real question. That's why.
Next, we have the affirmative with the backing. You have up to 5 minutes.
To back up what my partners already said about what prison reform allows. Prison reform, again, allows the inmates to receive support for mental health, substance abuse, and creates jobs. Create job programs for when inmates get out of prison. There needs to be programs such as something that can help them not ever want to go back to their past. I hope that's the case. But anyway, there needs to be jobs that are actually going to take them in regardless of their criminal history and if they're convicted and if they are a convicted felon. But jobs that are going to give them an opportunity in the working environment. As far as mental health goes, mental health is not just examining the person and sending them to a crazy house or something. No, it is programs where there is a counselor or professional that specializes in specifically for what they got locked up for, and not only be there to counsel them, but that counselor can help them go through life and be there for them through the rough and hard. As the Penal International Reform stated, there are programs and jobs for inmates after prison that helps with aftercare rehab. But there is not only there, but being not told, my father is an example right now and why my group is in favor of prison reform. My father, yes, is a convicted felon, but received his GED while locked up in the Virginia Department of Corrections. And was given an opportunity to work in an environment but not get paid through check, but get paid under the table. And in conclusion, this is why my group is in favor.
All right, next for the affirmative, we have the warrant. You have up to 5 minutes.
Though America's correctional system has grown at an alarming rate, it has reached a state of diminishing marginal returns when it comes to deterring future crime and increasing public safety. Like my opponent stated, the system is broken. He is right. That's why we need prison reform. Prison reform's overall goal is to fix the prison system and break the cycle of corruption. Prison reform seeks to change the status quo by providing individuals with constructive and dignified experience while they are incarcerated and providing access to tools to transform their lives by ensuring that individuals have the opportunity to use their time incarcerated in a constructive manner and allowing them to maintain positive relationships with their support network. We can increase the likelihood they become productive members of the communities upon re-entry. Prison reform attempts to achieve these goals on the path to increase public safety by expanding prison programming and ensuring adequate prison visitation policies.
All right, last but not least, for the affirmative side, you have the rebuttal. You have up to 5 minutes.
To conclude this debate on prison reform, me and my partners in favor of prison reform because everyone deserves a second chance. And the state and Virginia failed to realize it. So to To prevent from costing the state thousands of dollars, as my opponent has stated, why not prison reform? Reform prisons to allow ex-cons to a better life and a better life in society. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it has come to a conclusion, and that I have proven my point on why my group is in favor.
Okay, as I walk to the front of the room, I'll be honest with you gentlemen, you all got off to a rocky start, but you all finished strong. I will actually say during the debate process, I feel you all, actually the women laid a template for you, but I would say I feel that the men did exceptionally well. And I remember Rachel was saying that we're supposed to go back and forth. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. You all addressed each other, regardless of the format that I gave. They still addressed, Ms. Dolores, you did that during yours, so I was going to recap at the end of that. But you all still addressed each other. I ended up actually being able to zoom in, yes, we're still recording, on all of you, because you all mostly gave eye contact, good points, you pointed to your opponents. You two were sitting over here while they were still talking. You were taking more notes, revising, doing what you were supposed to do. So I'm proud of you gentlemen. You all stepped up to the plate very well. I'm shocked. I'll be honest, I'm shocked. Because it was very rocky during the process. But I am pleased. So now your peers get to let us know. You can only stand up once because both sides are great. So if you were for the affirmative, please stand. Woo. Okay. If you were for the negative, please stand.
We already know.
Oh, I need to see it. I don't even need to write a number down. I'm gonna cut the mic. And he eating chicken. Okay. Okay. Either way, everybody still gets their points. But you know, if you were the team that won, you get the additional 5 points. So I am pleased. When I did this last spring at TCC in Chesapeake, when we talked about the Lincoln-Douglas format, one, they had to meet the time frame. I gave them a range. They had to meet it. If I were judging you all in time frame, you would have not made it. As far as speaking, gentlemen, you did very well. Ariana learned how to slow down. You did very well, Alan. I didn't hear like. You did very well. Just to let you know, if this was going by the criteria that I had to judge, or that I had judges come in for last semester, it was the first was organization and clarity, okay? The use of argument, the next use of cross-examination and rebuttal, and the last was presentation and style. Style would mean voice and diction and so forth. So again, I'm very pleased with you all. I'm very pleased on this side for everyone showing up. Yes? I would like to say, how do you gentlemen feel? We'll start with the affirmative. How do you feel about your process? Be honest.
It was a struggle at first, but towards the end, we got it together.
Ariel. Now I realize it was you last night that texted me. I was like, who's texting me? You didn't tell me who you were to this morning. And you were like, I need you to read it. I didn't want to read it, which I told all of them the same thing because you were speaking it. And you did well. Just work on slowing down. I like your personal story that you added into it, by the way.
I like it too, Ariel. He was telling the truth.
Right. So for on the, while you're eating your chicken, for the gentleman on the negative side, how do you feel about the process?
Let me just start by saying this. I knew in the beginning that my opponent didn't have no chance against me and my teammates. He did a wonderful job. Period. And I want to thank you for that. Alan did a great job with presenting his piece. And I knew coming in that it's only two of them. They was going to need a whole army for us. Stuff like that.
I think that's the first thing all set these groups up.
All right, for our team captain,
Everybody always loses against me.
we'll go over why I ended up picking the first we'll start with the gentleman. Sir?
Yeah, rematch, like.
No, sir.
I'm feeling sorry.
All right, hold on. All right, so I'm gonna start with Howard. First of all, do you know why, as men, I put you all in the different teams, but on the same day and in the same setting?
I would really like to know.
Because you wanted to see this unfold, you wanted to see them take that L.
I gave you all as black men in this class prison reform. Why? Because who's mostly in prison?
Black people.
Oh, people of color. Okay, that was one reason. Two, I wanted to see you all work together because in the community, they say you all don't work together often.
Teamwork is teamwork.
Exactly, it should. So it was a bigger principle in that. Thank you all for dressing up. And most of you staying with the color scheme. Thank you. Listening skills. With that, as team captain Howard, how did you feel? Do you know why I picked you as team captain? He said, please.
I don't know why I picked against team captain, and I don't either. We just.
Well, okay, I will let you know. As one, you present yourself all the time, very mature. That was one reason why I picked you, and you're always on task and organized. As far as Brandon is concerned, why I picked you, one, for this topic, and on the con side, may I express what you shared with me or no? Because Ariana expressed what his father is in her. Do you mind if I say that or no? Okay, I won't go in detail. Okay, so why I picked him for this topic and also as team captain, but against the topic, is because he has been incarcerated and he has received his GED. And where is he now?
I didn't receive it in jail though, y'all.
No, but you received your GED though. And where are you now?
I'm in here with y'all.
But I picked him for the opposite side because he's been there, so more than likely he probably is for reform versus against it. So that is one reason why I picked as well. As far as for the ladies, Ms. Dolores, I picked you because you have that mother role. And as an organizer, as a team, how was she as your captain? Was she like making sure everybody was implementing what they're supposed to do? Exactly. For a key, I picked you as well because of the mother role. And I picked you because you weren't sure of yourself. Okay. Who else was your team captain is not here? I picked Lauren because she is also, she's a strong leader, but sometimes I don't think she sees that. So you can reiterate that with the link is still recording. And then for our other team, Hannah, I picked you because you are always on top of your really. You come to class, you're organized. If you don't know, you ask. Just others you ask and reach out to. You also speak well. So that is the reason why I also implemented certain people for team captains. Some of you that were team captains never thought you could be a team captain. I wanted you to step outside of that role. But also, what did I say? Even though you're leading, you also need to know how to follow, which I always say to you men up here at the same time. Anybody else would like to express anything before we take like a 15-minute break and we'll go back upstairs to start working on our APA format research papers on our VA legends. Yeah, I sent it over today. We got to get on it. Anybody else would like to express anything? Sir? Anybody else would like to express anything? Gentlemen, what did you learn, by the way, working with one another, individually and collectively? This paper keeps falling.
I learned that you ain't supposed to help nobody out and stuff like that. Like, regardless of what's going on, everybody got their different lives and shit like that. When people leave from school, they go home and do different stuff. Like, I might be going home to go do something that's gonna take 4 or 5 hours. X could probably be going home and be like, I had to eat good. And then Alan might be going home and say, like, I need to make me a sandwich.
You probably do say that too, don't you, Alan?
So I don't use that word a lot, like sometimes we don't like more than so.
It's around everybody out. Like, you can't just be like, well, since they didn't do it on the time that I wanted to do it, and, you know, everybody work on their own pace. It's gonna get done. You just gotta trust that other person.
Okay. Anybody else would like to express anything, even though we did the other day? Any recaps from you all personally after watching the links? Ladies, if you did watch it, anything you would like to express? No?
Lord, why me?
Like you wanted to say something.
Well, I did watch the link, but we all did great. This was fun. At first I was scared, I'm like, Lord, so what is she doing? Why she keep calling me out? I don't want to be in charge of nothing. I wanted this to be here, but after we got started, it was good. It was a good experience.
Yes, sir.
Why
Because you two are like partners in crime, so that has split you up. That was one thing.
We would have done better together.
You did fine though. You did
No,
fine.
I
Don't
mean-
discredit your teammate. You won too, so you
No,
did
I'm not
fine.
gonna discredit him, but I could have at least helped him out. He was sinking over there.
No, it wasn't. He did fine.
He
And that's the
came,
reason why I still separated you, because he needs to learn how to stand on his own.
he came to the mic and said, blah, 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 blah.
Speaking back, so content was fine. And then the personal story he added was fine. Anybody else?
Anybody?
Everybody okay? Hannah, you okay? I see you smiling on the low.
Anything, be there, anything you want.
All right, so again, I'm pleased with everyone. We'll take a 15-minute break. Let's go back up to the classroom.